again, and welcome. I suppose you've been looking a little bit at the telly over the last week or so. I certainly have, and very much trying to get a handle on the new Pope Leo XIV, or what was Chicago Bob. And the big thing that's come through to me is peace. His message of peace. His longing for peace. And I think he's being so faithful to Jesus. Because in Tuesday's reading for this week, Jesus was, as they're leaving the Last Supper, having washed the feet of his disciples, Jesus says to them, "Peace I give you. My peace I give you. A peace the world cannot give. This is my gift to you. Do not let your hearts be troubled or afraid." A beautiful text and full of meaning and sentiment that I believe Pope Leo has plugged into and has taken on himself. So that when he was presented to the people in the plaza, to the church in general and to the world, his very first words were, "Peace be with you," echoing those sentiments and words of Jesus himself. And I suspect when he gave his homily, that was also the main theme. There was gratitude, etc. there, but I think what came through for me most strongly was peace. And he did say that two pillars upon which to construct authentic, lasting peace are love and unity. And I suspect as Leo looked down on the crowd, he looked down on each one of them. He looked down on them as a group, and he looked on the world as general, and desired, wished, extended peace to all of them. Echoing what Jesus did after his resurrection. His greeting to the disciples, hidden, frightened in a room, or on the edge of the lake, or fleeing from the Jesus project towards Emmaus. He says peace, offers peace. Don't let your hearts be troubled or afraid. And I think that's the case for all of us and each of us. Be peaceful with yourself. Be at peace with yourself, comfortable in your own skin. So many of us tend to think that we're unlovable. We tend to focus on the past and go into buckets of Catholic guilt, thinking, what did I do and what did I fail to do? That God will judge me. I'm not worthy. God loves you as you are. And it's the same for every one of us. He loves us as we are, because that's the only me that exists. So if God loves you, who are you to despise that? Yeah? And the other one is our relationship with God. Do we let God in? Do we let God come near? Or are we afraid? Afraid that he couldn't love me? Or if I let God in, I will compromise my freedom. How sad. Thinking that a relationship of intimacy, of love, of life will compromise my freedom. What sort of freedom am I talking about? And then, of course, there's love of neighbour. To be united with the neighbour. To trust, respect, encourage, affirm the neighbour. And even if necessary, forgive, just as God forgives. And so, at the individual level, there's this relationship with self, with God, with neighbour. And it's the same on the world level. If we look at our world today, as I'm sure Leo did before he came out on the balcony, or when he gave his homily at the inauguration mass, he looked at the world and saw what a disaster it is today, and how egos are destroying life. The ego from the Kremlin, sending hordes of his fellow countrymen to be butchered on the fields of Ukraine, or the Ukrainians, civilians and soldiers, being killed, being destroyed by bombs. And in Gaza, the two massive egos there, Netanyahu and his government, and Hamas, equally to blame for the butchery in Gaza today. And is announced today on the news that if aid does not get in immediately, upwards of 12,000 children will die. And that's frightening. And it's because of two massive egos. Hamas refuse to make a treaty, to have peace, refuse to protect the Palestinians from the Israeli bombs and bullets. Or likewise in Myanmar that the Pope mentioned. A brutal military dictatorship which has usurped government and trying to impose its will on the rest of the people through bombs and bullets also. And that's the world to which Leo is trying to respond. And that is the world to which Jesus responded after the Last Supper. Yeah, peace I give you. My peace I give you. A peace the world cannot give. Let not your hearts be troubled or afraid. Be peaceful. Enjoy peace and live in peace. May Jesus' wish be realized today. May the Pope also see his dream realized for the good of everyone. Okay? God bless you. See you next week, I hope.